Hi. Oh, I'm kind of scared now. It's been so long since I've streamed. Oh God. Oh God. Hello. How have you been? How long has it been? It's been since last year. Not streamed since last year. That's what's happened. That's what happened. Um, Shaking because it's been so long. It feels like my first stream all over again. Hi. How are you? How is everyone? It's been a really long time. We need to catch up. Yeah, we need to catch up. So I've posted on Twitter quite a lot, more than I've been actually streaming. Um, so that was fun. Um, a few things have actually happened. We went over the Wi-Fi data at some point. So, um, and it wasn't purely my fault. I'm not the only one who streams, like watches YouTube and Netflix and all those other streaming platforms and stuff, listening to music, but like I'm not the sole culprit, but I am the main culprit because I play games too much apparently. And the fact that school hasn't started yet for me is angering everybody in the house because now they don't because now I'm just in the house all day doing fun things like playing games and eating. But yeah, so that month was kind of a struggle for me because this is too loud. Uh, the music was a little too loud for me. I had to adjust it. But the month of December was a struggle because I couldn't play games as much as I wanted to, or do a lot of things as much as I wanted to, because um my mom would get on my ass for it. So there's that. Um, I mean, I haven't really
Boarding
been
booking has
doing
entered the
anything.
circus.
I actually have been planning a few. Oh, wait, I got to follow. Thank you, Balding Booking. I that popped up. No idea. Alert box not working. Oh no, oh no. But oh, I fixed that. Maybe probably should have been testing things when I wasn't streaming, but I assumed everything would be okay. But let me see if I can fix that actually. But no, while I was away, I actually have been doing something. I've been planning future streams. Like I've been planning this one. Um, I've been planning this stream. Um, I had to. I was spending a lot of time watching anime because all of the anime that I wanted to talk about I did not finish. And there's still a bunch of anime on here that I did not finish, but we're going to talk about it anyway because I personally don't mind spoilers, and this is just me trying to get people to watch some of the anime I've watched. Okay, yeah. How's everyone else been? I've been like non-existent on everywhere except Twitter for a whole month. So how's everyone else doing? I've School is gonna start soon for me. I'm not happy about that. Um, and I've planned other streams. This isn't the only stream that I've planned. I've planned some others, but some of them is going to be a bit more. They require a bit more planning, so most likely won't be like seeing those streams for a while. But since it's the new year, let's talk a bit about the new year and what I plan to do. Um, Stream more, but with school coming up, that's probably not going to be that much of a successful New Year's revolution. So we're pushing that to the side for now. Um, but let's see. I want to stream more. Something else that I want to do is just, I guess, I actually don't really have a New Year's resolution. As far as like things I want to improve on and do better at it, just stream more. And then from there, all of my other goals are just improvements that I can only really do after I achieve the first one. Like, for example, I want to be able to play more games. Let's see. Yeah, I just want to be able to play more games. Just do more things on stream. I also wanted to have more streams that were a bit more meticulously planned. So, like, a bit more like streams that had a bit more prep work, but like being done beforehand before the actual stream, so that way, I'm not just like going live and I'm just like, I'm gonna be. Hold on, wait, let me think what I'm gonna be doing. Like I'll actually have some sort of, which I think would be nice. Yeah, I'm going to be testing your moment.
Daisy
Okay,
has
it
entered the
works.
circus.
I have no idea if the TTS, but it scared me. Um, I don't know. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it works. I don't know. Um, but yeah, for someone who hasn't streamed for like a whole month, I have nothing to talk about. I live a very uneventful life. For people who aren't aware, I live an extremely uneventful life. Um, I sat around and I did nothing, and the most that I did do was plan this. So, I mean, I'm at least happy about that. I did one thing. Oh, wait. actually think I figured out what the issue is, but I don't know how to solve the issue. How do why is it cute? Jeez. It's okay. Yeah, this what was the last stream I even did? The last stream I did was the charity stream, which was pretty good. We achieved the goal. We went above the goal actually. I'm really happy for that. I met some really nice people. Um, I met a lot of other VTubers and some really nice people, and I had fun. Nice. So I guess I don't have much to say, so I guess we'll just go straight to um the content. Let's see. Hey, content. So I will be doing an anime tier list. However, I won't just be doing all and every animes. Um, I'm specifically going to be rating anime that I've watched that I feel like not a lot of people have seen. And I don't really, for some of these, I feel like not a lot of people have seen. For others, a lot of people probably have seen it, but we're going to talk about them anyway because there's nothing wrong. There's more, more things, just nothing wrong with that. But yeah, this is also to get out some of my rants because after I watched these, I was like, man, I got some things to say about you. So this is also just for me to do that and what's the word? To just rant about stuff. But yeah, so this is primarily going to be like rating anime and then talking about it. There will be spoilers. Yes, there will be spoilers about the anime that I talk about. A lot of the things that I want to mention or address will be really hard to do without spoiling the anime. So for anyone who doesn't like spoilers, you've never seen this anime before or you plan on watching it and you want to go into it with a really fresh mind, I'm going to be spoiling a lot, so this isn't for you. But I will say though, if you join in and you start spoiling things, if it's to talk about something, I won't mind it. There are definitely some animes in here that I haven't finished, but I will be talking about anyway. Otherwise, the list would be extremely short if it was just anime that I have never watched. So, yeah, I'm horrible at talking. Give me a second. It's been a while. But yeah, I personally don't think spoiling is actually that bad. Because I definitely understand why some people wouldn't want to be spoiled. They want to go into it with a fresh mind. They want the surprises to be a surprise. But personally, I guess I don't care too much about surprises like that, I guess. I mean, There are definitely some times where I've like there's something that I want to watch or want to do, and I wanted to stay surprised. Like I had to avoid watching like people who've been streaming Genshin because I really want the Fontaine request to be a secret. I want because I really like Farina and her character, and I also really like Bradley, and I also really like Lenny and Lynette and Renee, and I really like Novale, and I just really like all of the Fontaine characters, essentially. So when we get into the story quest, I really want it to be a surprise. Like I've seen some clips. It's not that big of a deal. I just don't want to have seen like the entire Archon quest. Oh my goodness,
Studious
it
Ryu has
worked.
entered the circus.
Oh my goodness, my alerts do work. Thank you, Studio. This is Ryu. Following. My name is Pagliacci, and we're going to be ranking some of my animes on a tier list today. Nice to meet you, and I'm pretty sure I have a rule that says like no advertising. Not, and I guess that's my fault, but please don't like go into people's chats and like advertise. It's kind of like considered like pretty rude. Yeah, going to have to delete the message. But just like going into people's chats and like promoting or advertising something is like considered pretty rude. It's kind of like streaming etiquette, rap etiquette, things like that. So going back to anime, and no spoilers. I can't remember a damn thing that I was talking about. But no, just for arc the Archon quest for Genshin. That's like one of the few things where I'm just like, don't tell me what's going to happen. Though I have seen like a few scenes, some spoilers, some like really cool looking animated scenes. So it's just, man, I can't wait to watch this like firsthand myself when I actually get to the Archon quest because I'm still stuck in Subaru. But no, but like other than that, really, it's like if you were to like spoil a movie for me, like you're just like, this happened and that happened and that happened and then this is how it ended, I'd be like, cool. That really made me want to watch the movie. Because in my head, I guess when you go into a movie, I guess knowing the spoilers, I guess like, yeah, it's not going to be a surprise, but it's also like you look forward to like those moments that were spoiled to you. Because I mean, even though you know what's going to happen, you've never actually seen what happened. So it's like, if someone says there's going to be explosion, it's different than like hearing like, oh, there's an explosion, than actually seeing the explosion. It's kind of like those jokes where it was like you had to be there for it to be funny. Like those jokes where it's like you had to be there kind of jokes where it's like it's not funny unless you were there and you like experienced it firsthand. That's for me, that's what spoilers are. Wait, what? For me, I guess that's kind of what it's like when someone gives me spoilers. It's kind of like, oh well, it's not going to compare to if I was there like myself, first person, like watching that scene versus just you explaining it to me. Plus, it gives me things to look forward to. Like I've spoiled so much of I've spoiled myself so much about like Dark After Sakura, which I had just started watching, and I don't care because all it does is just give me something to look forward in the like when I watch the anime. Like I know it's kind of you're just like, oh my goodness, I know this character's secret. I'm like so excited to see how it's going to be revealed. Oh, I know this character, but they're not in here yet. I wonder how they're gonna like come into the anime. I wonder how they're gonna like, it's like it just gives me more things to be interested in, or it just gives me like more things to look forward to, like more solid like things to look forward to within the anime. Like, I really look forward to seeing that explosion they talked about. I really look forward to seeing that kiss they talked about. I'm looking forward to seeing this epic fight that they talked about. Like it's just it gives you like instead of just being like I'm looking forward to this in general, it's like there's like a specific thing you want to see. So then when you see it, it's like you're like, wow, that was great. You were right. But yeah, this there will be spoilers here. I'm someone who doesn't mind spoilers. So I will be talking about it. If you spoil something, I'm not to be mad about it at all. Like if you've seen any of these anime and you're like trying want to explain something and you're afraid like, oh, but I'm gonna mention spoil it, do it. Just do it. I don't mind spoilers. So it's like, just talk about it to your heart's content. I'm not gonna mind. But yeah, let's get on to like the actual tier list. So I'm going to explain the tier list first and foremost. So first we have um let's start at the top. I don't think you can see my cursor, but that's so first we have the red tier, which is rewatching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. This is for anime that I really like. This is for anime that I really like, in that I have either watched multiple times or would not mind watching multiple times. There's very few things that I can watch. Like if we're talking about an entire anime series, there's very few things that I can watch repeatedly. So like that's a pretty big deal if you're up there, for me at least. Um Second tier is best anime. Just simply, it was a really good anime. I loved it. It was great. It was awesome. Underrated. So underrated is for anime that I feel like deserve a bit more recognition, that were like really good, but don't have that kind of like backing of like enough like people who've watched it to like essentially like prove like this anime really good. So I put it in underrated, or simply anime that I thought personally was like really good, but nobody talks about it. And then under that we have that shit's pretty good. It was pretty good. It's pretty self-explanatory. Mid is for anime that was just mid. It was like, oh, it was okay. It was mid. It was all right. Um, Under that is could have been better. This is for anime that I feel like had really good potential. Like it could have been like probably could have been in like pretty good, maybe even underrated, if not at least mid. But it's like some choices or like some little things just like made it not just made it could have been better. Under that is overrated. Um, this is just for anime that I feel like a lot of people talk about, and they're just like, man, this is great, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right, it is good, but I just personally don't like find it that crazy, like good of an anime. Like everybody talks about it, everybody's like, oh my goodness, this anime is the best. I'm just like, oh, well, I wouldn't say it's best, but like it's good. That that's what overrated means. Under that is not my cup of tea. For anime, that's not my cup of tea. Like it's good. I'm sure it's great. Like genuinely, this was probably a really good anime, but it just wasn't my personal cup of tea. So I you know, didn't think it was that great, even though it probably was good. And then under that is no comment. This is for anime where I would rather not, where there were enough issues where it's like you're you're not my cup of tea, but like also no comment. Oh, what you think of no comment? Oh, but what about no comment? I just I can't. That's for anime where I just can't. I can't. So let's get started. So we're going to start with an anime that's on Netflix. My Happy Marriage. I haven't finished it. Um, at some point when I was watching it, it was still uploading episodes, and I had watched all the episodes that were uploaded. I just never went back to finish watching it. So this is My Happy Marriage. Um, say that's just pretty good. Um, simply because I'm a sucker for romance animes. I think they're really cute, and there have been some really cute scenes in My Happy Rom. I'm sorry, in My Happy Marriage that just it got me in the heart. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. There's definitely some role building stuff that I didn't quite understand, not because it was bad, just a personal. It was like just a personal, like I'm a little dumb kind of issue. But yeah, I personally really like it. It was really interesting. It was pretty good. Again, I'm a sucker for anime, so yeah. Next is The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again Today. Best anime. It needs another season. This anime, it needs another season. This is best anime. I guess technically it would be underrated because not a lot of people talk about it, but I think this is best anime. This is like this deserves to be best anime. That it's a giant cat that wears an apron. It's so cute. I like it. It's adorable. I really like this anime. Um, I relate to um our main girl more than I should because that just means that I don't know how to take care of myself. But I really like the anime. It's just like this it's or it's just like a really cute slice of life about an office worker who has a cat who likes to clean or who knows how to clean. And yeah, I like it. It's cute, it's adorable. Next is no, a lot of these are isekais because I did have an isekai phase that was very recent. I'm technically still in it, but I did have a an isekai phase where I was just watching a whole bunch of isekai. So there will be a lot of them in here. And and because isekais always have those really long titles, I'm going to mess up one of the titles, and you're just gonna have to like feel. So all this is like all routes lead to all X routes lead to Doom or something. Um, is like the name of the anime. All routes lead to Doom. That's just what I'm gonna call it. This is an isekai anime. Not really isekai. I mean, so the main character isn't like thrust into like a fantasy world. It was more of like main character here, the girl with the brown hair, um, just bumps her head, remembers her past life, and her past life is essentially a modern day, Japanese schoolgirl who played a game that happens to be her life, and she is the antagonist. as it was an Otome game as well. Specifically, it was an Otome game that she played. So, and essentially the premise is just like, oh, all the routes lead to her doom. No matter what route the main character takes, all of them kind of end with her dying or with her being unfortunate, like in some sort of like unfortunate situation, like being exiled and such. And I mean, it has a lot of things that could have been better. Like it has a lot of the. I mean, I think this is like one of the older animes too. Like it's not old, but like it's not brand new. Probably a couple years old. Um, I don't know, but yeah, the issue that I had with this, yeah, issue that I kind of had with this May was that it was for one, the character, the main character, our main character. She's oblivious. Oh, oblivious. She's oblivious to a lot of things, and I don't like that. Like, I really like the scenes where it's like she's trying to contemplate on like what to do, and it's just like a freaking like conference meeting in her head with just like the different versions of her, like optimistic her, court judge her, pessimistic her, like you know. But it's like it's very obvious that a lot of these characters, like a lot of these side characters, the main character, the route people, all like her. But she's like so fixated on the fact that like of just like the fact that all of these routes lead to doom, like supposedly in the original thing lead to doom, that it's like it's like you're just kind of sitting there like, dude, like everybody likes you, like if anything happens, you're good, like you're good. Is and it's like it kind of annoys me because I'm just sitting there like, dude, you're safe, stop. But it's like the character just can't seem to get it wrapped around her oblivious main character's thick skull that like all of these sorry that all of these characters like her in that she's fine, and that low key pisses me off. Another thing that I don't like is that it was this. No, I think that was the main thing I didn't like about the anime. Actually, it was just how the main character was oblivious to everything. And because she was oblivious to everything, how she handled everything was also kind of iffy. Actually, no. This is an issue that I have with all isekai animes, where you're like thrown into like a video game or an anime game or a book or a novel of some kind. It's when the characters know exactly what to say for most of the game. There's no fucking way that you know each and every correct like freaking dialogue option word for word for like 50 different choices in the game. Like that makes no sense. I'm sorry, that makes no sense to me. I don't do people actually remember that much? Like do people actually remember that much when they play like or when they play like otome games or visual novel games or like read novels where it's just where like like how many of y'all could confidently just be like, man, if I got like thrust into last anime that I watched or like that last book I read, I'd know all the right things to do, all the right things to say word for word. I feel like that's so unrealistic because there's no way that you know exactly what to say word for word for all of the choices. And that's one of the things I don't like about this isekai, but that's a general isekai thing that I don't like. It's the impeccable memory for everything related to the media that they were thrown into, that they were isekai'd into. Because in my head, it just doesn't make sense. There's no way you remember that much. And it's like, this, it goes in, could have been better. It could have been better if they made the character less oblivious to her improved circumstances, and like, it would have been up to mid, like immediately. Like from that alone, it would have gone up to mid. Next is oh well, this, this is gonna be a this is hold on, before I go on, I need to fix. I've added something to the title, and this was very important. It was very important that I added this to the title because of the next anime that we will be talking about. That I am very happy that we are going to be talking about because I look forward to showing you how much I like this anime, despite its content. It's really good. It's really good. I'm going to tell you right now, before I show this anime, I'm going to tell you guys right now, this anime, people focus on the wrong things. People focus on like, they did what? They're what? It's what? And I'm just sitting here like, dude, but the world building, it's the fact that they're taking all of these very niche questions that in where it's like if that were real life would be pretty valid questions to ask. Like if we're talking about like there it's kind of like it's interspecies for viewers, guys. It's interspecies for viewers and it's very underrated. It's very underrated. People focus on the wrong things when they see interspecies reviewers. For people who do not know what interspecies reviewer is, stay that way. You don't have to watch it. For people who do know about this anime, if you know, you know, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about when I say people focus on the wrong. People focus on the fact that this, that you, that, what do they call the ghosts? Succubus girls, I think. Um, is okay. Okay, I need to calm down. I need to explain my thoughts coherently. Interspecies Reviewers is an anime that is borderline X high, and because of that, a lot of people focus on that aspects when anyone mentions interspecies reviewers. They think, "Oh yeah, the anime that was borderline that." Yo, that shit was wild, and I'm just thinking like world building. That's the one thing that I wish people would pay more attention to when they watch interspecies reviews. For example, I like talking about this episode because one, it makes everyone freak out when they hear about it, but like also it's a pretty good example. I call it the egg episode. In the egg episode, right? The our little group of adventurers go to this water world type place, but instead of seeing dolphins and whales do little tricks, um even though I'm pretty sure whales have become illegal, so I guess it's just dolphins. But, like instead of seeing a dolphin show, they see an egg show, and the egg show is essentially where they watch a bunch of like bird girls like just poop out their unfertilized egg. I mean, they're not all bird girls. It's just any like species that lays eggs. So like, there's a crocodile girl there. There's a penguin, a bird, and there's various creatures. And I really liked how they tackled like very realistic like things. Like, for example, the people who are attracted to that sort of thing are Naga, which is a type of fantasy creature that is half snake human. Um, who is, and there was actually a friend of our main characters who isn't Naga, who like kind of showed them to the place. And the reason why it's so popular with them is because they're part snake. Snake eats eggs. So for them, it's like a turn on, but also it has this thing where the highest bidder gets the egg. So then not only do they get to see freshly laid eggs, they get to actually eat freshly laid eggs, which I think is really interesting world building wise, because if you think about it, in the society, Naga probably never get to eat freshly laid eggs because that would be, you know, like, well, that would be like a borderline murder because you just ate someone's child, someone's unborn or unhatched child. Like, and then you can't just walk up to someone and be like, "Hey, can I have your facially laid on a fertilized egg?" Like obviously, you're probably gonna get a restraining order and like a talk with the police if you were to do that. So I find that to be really interesting because for Naga, it's a really rare delicacy that is well within their diet because they're part snakes and snakes eat eggs. So for them, this is like the only way they get to eat freshly laid eggs, which I think is really interesting how they did that. Also, it's also popular with mermen. Don't exactly know why, but it is. I don't know why, but it is. Um, Also, it's popular with chefs and egg connoisseurs. These really rare eggs that aren't used in a lot of dishes. Um, egg connoisseurs will bid mad money just to eat it. Chefs will also bid mad money just to be able to cook with those eggs. Kind of like if like ostrich eggs are like really rare and like they were typically sold to the highest bidder, it would be like, of course, a lot of egg connoisseurs and chefs would be there, right? Have so many different like types of creatures who lay or like species that lay eggs. There, you get wait, what happened to me? Sorry. You get all of these like unique eggs that probably aren't used much in cooking or really sold to be or ever sold to be eaten. So like this is like the only place for a pretty large number of people to like experience a certain thing. Such as eating freshly laid eggs or a certain type of egg. So when I see how popular it is in the fact that most of the audience are like Naga, and then there's like a chef, and there's an egg connoisseur, merman, it's like it makes sense. Um, another there's another episode that I find to be the episode with like the cutest theme, which is the Cyclops episode. Cyclops episode, they go to a succubi joint, um, where all of the girls there are Cyclops. And the thing is that we also get to learn about the beauty standards among like some of these species based on like the type of joints they go to. I'm referring to the mist joint. These places as joints. Um, and what I liked about this, right, was that it is that like it's very apparent that like the Cyclopses, like beauty wise, it's like their beauty standard is how big their eyes are, or how big their eye is. If you have really big eyes, like if you have like that crazy disproportionate, like old anime style big eye just in the smack middle of your head, you're like the prettiest. You're like the prettiest Cyclops there. You're like fucking beautiful according to their standards. Where if you had like a normal size cyclops, like a normal sized eye, but it was just one because you're cyclops, you would be considered not that beautiful, right? And the reason why say this has the cutest scene is because our little adventure group gets a note from a mysterious person. This is where the spoilers come in, guys. Um, they get a note from like this mysterious person who's just like, please go to Cyclops joint, tell me what you think. And we told him, and our group is made up of a human, a elf, and an angel, which I will actually talk about. Um, I should talk about the angel in a bit, but just they all go and like they're obviously their beauty standard is not based on eye size. So for them, getting with a cyclops with a huge eye was like very not comfortable for them. This is just one big giant eye staring at you, essentially. So, um, and then it's like they post their review up, and then we see who sent the note, and it was like this little and it was like this Cyclops girl with like a smaller eye, who it's like she sees it and she's just like, oh my goodness. So if I confess to like this person who I like, who happens to be a human, they're not going to like they're not gonna like they're gonna think that I'm beautiful. They're not gonna think that I'm ugly because my eye isn't humongous. They're gonna think that I'm still beautiful and I might have a chance. And that, oh my god, that was like the cutest scene in that entire anime. That was like the cutest scene in that entire anime, and I freaking loved it. It was amazing. It was so cute because she just wanted to know if she had a chance if she confessed. And again, because address like the differing beauty standards between the species. For Cyclops, is having a huge eye is the beauty standard, but if you have a small eye, you're considered ugly. But to other species, that's just a normal sized eye, and they think you're beautiful. So it's like I like how they kind of like address like certain smaller world building topics or like concepts, by doing this. Like they kind of tackle like beauty standards. They tackled like interests. Like they kind of like they tackled like like specific species interests, like with the eggs, because Naga are snakes and they eat eggs. So the fact that there's a place where they can eat freshly laid eggs is not a place that's very common. Is not really something they can easily do. So the fact that they can just pay a little dollar to like eat a freshly laid egg is just like that's for them it's like a dinner in a show, essentially. Which I find really interesting. And the last in another episode that I want to mention, what was the episode? Um, I go to quite a few joints, honestly. Um, there's honestly like a lot of them I could talk about, but we'll just leave it trails for now. But I did want to talk about the angel, and that was Krim. So Krim is an angel. There is a heaven in this game. In this game, there is a heaven in this anime because Krim is from heaven. He's an angel, and Krim is something that I find really interesting about Krim is that Krim is like intersex, which for people who don't know what that is, it's someone who has the genitals of both genders. And I actually find that to be really interesting because then it's like, are all angels like that? Or is it just Krim? Essentially, when Krim is found, Krim's halo is damaged after they had a run in with a pretty dangerous creature. And they end up getting picked up by, our little group of adventurers um, who really like going to their Stucky by joints. And, they drag Krim along with them. They drag the angel in with them into all of their lust adventures. Um, but something that I find really interesting is the world building also around is because there was like a New Year's episode, I think. Yeah, there was a New Year's episode. And everybody's like doing some sort of hand gesture that's like to like praise like God or whatever. Krim's just like, what are y'all doing? And they're just like, what do you mean what are we doing? This is how we like pray to God. And Krim's just like, I can't hear shit that people are doing. And then everybody's just like, and then it's just like silent because the Crim essentially just said like praying is useless because God can't hear the pray because the God like in the anime can't hear the prayers. So Crim's just like confused, just like, oh well, and then everybody's just like, you're making us feel extremely like disheartened right now. I just thought that was like a really interesting thing I thought that was just like a really interesting thing that they did with Crim. Um, like there is so many other joints that I could talk about that's like really interesting in their own right. But they do a bunch of stuff. There was the fairy one. Oh my god, that's the one I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the fairy joint. No, I thought the fairy joint was handled pretty well. It was the fact, I mean, I think this was also the place where you kind of got ripped off, but another thing I really liked was how they handled the fairy joint, which is essentially, all the stuff by girls are fairies. But then it's like not everybody can just go in, right? You have to be a certain size. If you're too big, there's not a fairy that could realistically take that. So it's like before you actually go in, you have to be measured, and then they give you like a list of like people of like the fairies who are like big enough to take it. So if you're small, you have a lot of options. If you're big, you have very little options. If you're huge, then you have no options. You're just kind of like, oh well, not your luck. Out you go. You know? And I thought that was just really interesting how they did that as well. Because that's a really nice way to like protect like the people the people there as well. Um yeah. I talked about like this anime for like the longest out of like the before up here, so you can tell how much I like this anime, which I think is also kind of funny because this is like one of the more inappropriate animes. But like, God, I just like love the freaking world building in it. Genuinely think that just like the world built and that they tackle like certain these world building topics pretty well. Next is a love story with Yamada-kun is at level 999. This is a cute anime. It's an anime about a girl who plays an MMO because her boyfriend got her into it. You know, he wanted to play with her, and then they broke up, and then she met Yamada-kun, who was like a pro FPS gamer who also plays this MMO, and they're in the same guild. Woo! So essentially, it's just like her getting into him, and then them becoming a thing over time, eventually. Romance anime, it's very cute. Get to see a lot of characters. Like, for example, like within the guild alone, it's a very small guild. Shamada-kun, who's Shamada-kun, there's a guy who's who's a guy, but his model in the game is a girl. And I thought that was just really interesting. You honestly get to like tackle like a lot of the different people who you could interact with who like when you play games, for example. There's like this old guy, he's like super nice. Like I low key wish that the anime was like longer and that we saw and like talked a bit more about like some of the other guild members instead of like just the romance part because like I don't know, I'm really interested. Like what's that old guy do? We never got to see his model. We never got to see like we've only seen like three of like the five guild members models. Not models of their like game characters, which I feel like was such a waste. Because like um one of their wait no, he did see it. But still it was I don't know. It's like his character race that he chose is like really interesting. It's supposed to be like tiny, but then when it's in battle it grows. And we never got to see it in battle. So I never got to see what it looked like when it was big and like more, you know, visible, which I felt like is kind of a waste. Because what do you mean we only get to see him when he's like a millimeter big? When he's like literally a pixel big in the game? But like, and you say like, oh no, and then he turns into like a regular sized creature like when he gets into battle, but we never get to see him turn into a regular sized creature like in battle. Because we never see him in battle. And I feel like that was such a waste. Like, why would you do that if we don't get to see it? Because now I'm just sitting here just like, why? But my little story with Yamada-kun at level 999, there were definitely some cute moments. There were some cute moments. I'll say, personally, I would put that in like, that shit's pretty good. I thought it was good. That shit's pretty good. Oh, oh, this one. How really, how, how really, how really Yona ended up in the Duke's mansion. I actually can't remember this anime that well. Um, I only know is that it's a isekai. It's into a novel, not an otome game. I think one issue that I had was the fact that the Duke in question was supposed to be like this cold guy, but like he didn't even seem that cold. But I felt like you didn't stick to the character trait, to like the key character trait that much. I'll say it's mid for now. It's mid. I'm sorry for Raeliana watchers. It's mid. Yeah. My Little Monster. Um, My Little Monster, I think, is underrated. Um, this is one of the few. This is one of the very few animes that utilizes the smart troublemaker trope, where it's like the troublemaker is like, okay, so you have like this class president, smart girl. There's like this dude in the class who like got like what suspended first day of school. Except he's supposed to be in school now, but he chose not to go back because dude has like some insane um sense of justice. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. When I first watched this anime, I was like pretty young. And then when I found this anime again, I never watched it again, but when I found this anime again, and I remembered that like troublemaker character, I just sat there and I was like, is he, and I headcanon him as autistic? Cause like, I don't know. I just want to. Is that okay? Is that fine? I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying. But like, can I? Is it allowed? I want to, but like no. So essentially, yeah, she has to like it's that there's this guy who's not coming to school his homework, and then she like gets into like a whole thing with him. He wants to be her friend. She wants nothing to do with him. We find out that he's not that bad of a guy. He just like did something that got him in trouble because he had a sense of justice that not a lot of other people did, and he just, tackled the issue in a way that was not allowed in school. Okay, violence, and he suffered for it, but now he feels like the school, like, kind of support, not supports, but like that the school's sense of justice is a little messed up because he got suspended for like beating someone up, despite it being because someone else was being bullied and he was trying to protect them. But he's voluntarily not going to school, not to be a delinquent, but because his sense of justice is telling him not to. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really interesting how they handled his character. Very multidimensional. Um, very not just he's not just a misunderstood troublemaker. He's a troublemaker who is not that bright in some instances, but academically is potentially the smart. No, academically he's the smartest in the class, but in other situations he feels kind of dumb, a little dense, and like oblivious. Like a lot of things, especially like when it comes to like social interactions, he feels very like a little dense or a little oblivious. Like he has a little dumb in the sense like he has a harder time understanding social like stuff. Just but it's very smart academically. And I don't know. I liked it. I liked it. I think it's underrated. More people should watch it. I like it. Never finished it, but I like it. I have to finish it. Um, Monster Girl Doctor. Hmm. This anime is not an isekai. It's about a a pretty young guy who is a doctor who specializes in monsters. So he specifically sees like creatures like naga, centaurs, humans, like all of these other like other species creatures that whose like anatomy would differ from a human's. He specializes in it, which again is really interesting. Um, it's another one of those, and I like the main character. This is why I like the main character. I like our main doctor guy. This is why I like our main doctor guy. I had canon him as Ace, which is why I like him. At first, I had canon him as Aero Ace, but then I felt like they weren't gonna do that, so I just had canon him as Ace, and that's because all of these monster girls who he like treats is like low key so into him, and he's just like, okay, you're healthy, next. And he's just like doing his job. He's just like, okay, yeah, I checked your shoulder blade, checked, checked your stomach, I checked what has to be checked. You're healthy, you're good, you're not dying. Um, you know, and it's the fact that he's not like being flustered, like, oh no. He's just like, yeah, you're healthy, and the girls are just like drooling over him, and just like, and he's just over here like, you're healthy, stop drooling. You're healthy. Okay, go check up. I'll see you next month. And like that, and he's just like doing his job, and I like that. So I started to like the anime because I can hit canon him as Ace, and there's my representation right there. So yeah, Monster Girl, Monster Girl Doctor. That's just pretty good. Um, it's that typical, fantasy genre anime where the main guy, where like the main character is a guy, everyone around him is a girl, and all of the girls are just in love, obsessed with him. It's very typical. It's very, your typical formula structure, but I still like the fact that I can hit canon him as these. So it gets it pretty good. it gets it pretty good. Um, Hakure Guri. Guri. I never know how to actually say this title. Hold on. Guri. Hakure. The anime about rich high school students who gamble. Best anime. Like, what do you mean? Best anime. What else? This is Sweet Reincarnation. I got something to say about this anime. Isekai anime. Uh, let's see, a famous passeteer gets reborn into a world where certain sweets are not so easy to get a hold of. Or whatever. I don't fucking know. Haven't finished it, but you know what his reincarnated self's name is? Pastry. His character's name is freaking Pastry. You know what his father's name is? You know what his freaking father's name is? Casserole. You mean to tell me your father's name is Casserole and your name is Pastry, and not once in the freaking anime do you question it? You mean to tell me your name is Pastry, and not once do you sit there and just laugh and just like, my name's Pastry. Like, I would do that. I would do that shit. If I were just like isekai into some fantasy world, and someone was like freaking like your name, and I was just like born, I was a baby, and I'm just sitting here like, so what's my name gonna be? And my mother looks at me and says, your name is like, and she said like, your name is Ramen. I'm gonna sit there, and like my first noise as a like newborn child is just gonna be a snort. Like, where are you gonna? I'm just thinking like, so where are you gonna name me? Your child? your beautiful, beautiful child, and they sit and they pull up with the ramen, I'm gonna be like a newborn baby, and I'm just go like, man, you tell me my name is. I swear, every time someone calls my name, I feel like ramen. My name's ramen. Yeah, I would. That would be so funny. Oh my goodness. If they were like, oh my goodness, I'd just be sitting there just like, give me ramen, get me after a food. And like, I understand, like, maybe that food doesn't like exist in this world, or maybe it does exist, but it goes by like a completely different name. But like, I'm not from this world. In the world I'm from, that's a food, and you named me ramen. I'm gonna laugh. And then if I ever meet someone else whose name was ramen, like, yo, I'm a laugh at them too. I'm gonna be like, yo, ramen. Yeah. Her last name. Imagine your full name was like miso ramen. They use like the Asian way of name. So like last name first and then first name. Miso ramen. Yo, miso ramen. I'd call them by their full name every time. I'd be like, miso ramen. And I'll be laughing the entire time. Cause like seriously, what do you mean your name is pastry and you're a pastetier? And not once do you sit there just like, my name is pastry. My dad's name is casserole. Like he just happily accepts it. He's just like, my name is pastry. I'm from another world, and this is my dad, casserole. Like I'd be sitting there like, and I'd be sitting there just like laughing. It's like my name is pastry. This is my dad, casserole. There's a princess whose name is a licorice. Like I'd be sitting there and I'd be like laughing the entire time in that world. Like my whole existence could be a joke. I treat my entire existence in that world as a joke. Because what do you mean my name is ramen? What do you mean his name is pastry? What do you mean my dad's name is casserole? What the fuck? Now I will say there does seem to be some things, like for example, like apples go by a different name. So if there was someone named Apple, it would be like, oh, well, it's not linked to the actual food here because that goes by a completely different word. But like, it's kind of like still, it's like still, like you know what an apple is. If you see someone named Apple, if you saw someone named Ramen, you'd be like, for ramen? For that name miso by any chance? But no. Um, haven't finished it. Personally, I think it's pretty mid. You know, I don't think it's mid. Wait, no, I think it's pretty mid. I don't think it's like good. I think it's just mid from what I see so far. Vampire Knight. Here's like a pretty fun fact about me. The first anime I watched, I don't know the actual first anime I watched. And that's because when I was younger, a lot of the anime I watched was on Toonami. No, 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 Toonami. It was like there would be Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network would be showing those good cartoons they used to have on. Remember Ed and Eddie, Chowder, The Misadventures of Flapjack. It had back when it had all those good anime on, right? All those good cartoons on. And then after a certain time, right, cartoon would stop playing because Cartoon Network shared the channel number with a different. with a different channel known as Adult Swim. So it's like Cartoon Network would show, and then after a certain point, Cartoon Network would be like, okay, well, we're closing out for the night, and then after Cartoon Network, you would have Adult Swim, and Adult Swim was for the adult animation. So if you rem- so like Family Guy, Robot Chicken, was like the things that would show up. Yeah, and was Annoying Orange Adult Swim or Cartoon Network? And Orange was like an adult song because I can imagine. I mean, have you seen Annoying Orange? Like, I can imagine the characters cussing in their show. But like shows uh, Robot Chicken and Family Guy like were on Adult Swim. King of the Hill, you know, and then within Adult Swim, there's like things within things in this. And then within Adult Swim, there was Toonami. And Toonami was like a section, like Adult Swim would dedicate like a couple of hours to just showing anime, right? So, from what I remember, if we exclude Pokemon from the mix, the first anime that I watched were Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, Naruto. Those are the three anime that I remember popping up on Toonami back when I was a kid. But because it was just whatever showed up on Toonami when I stayed up late enough without my parents knowing, I don't know exactly what the very first anime I saw was. I just know that it was that the first animes that I watched were among the three: Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and Naruto. Because all of those showed on Toonami. They also had Samurai Jack in Toonami. They also had that. That was also a good cartoon. But yeah. So, but after that, there was a time where I wasn't able to stay up as late as much. I think like my parents were catching me a bit more often, so I couldn't stay up to watch animes often. But then there was a time where I was like, it was the first time I really differentiated anime from cartoons. Because back then, anime was just, you know, a different kind of cartoon, right? I didn't really differentiate it much from cartoons. But at some point growing up, I finally differentiated like anime as its like own thing, like separate from like Western cartoons. And one of the first animes that I watched on my own that wasn't of the three or Pokemon was Vampire Knight. Now just imagine the first anime you watch after knowing that anime is different from cartoons. The first anime you go to watch on your own, by yourself, voluntarily, is Vampire Knight. Let's to say I was pretty young. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I was confused as heck. All I knew is that those two people liked her, and for some reason that didn't sit well with me. And then and then I like finished it. For some reason, it did not sit well with me. As a kid, I was like, I don't know what I just watched, but I didn't like it. So this is going to no comment. I was too young to understand what was going on, but I was old enough to know like I don't like it. It took me a while to figure out the reason why it did not sit well with me was because one of these two people who liked her was her brother. That's why. That's why it didn't sit well with me. It was not a great time for me as a kid. Next, RN High School Host Club. This going up there. I've actually already watched on um Host Club, like 3 times now. Like literally, I've watched the entire series 3 times now. It's already solidified its place up here because I've watched it 3 times. Actually, 3 times. 3 times. Yeah. I've already watched it 3 times. It solidified its place up here. I love this. This, I like to call this my guilty pleasure, except I'm not guilty about it. My guilty pleasure, except I'm not guilty about it. It's just pleasure. I just like it. Oh, almost like the other anime I watch now. This Hozuki no Reitetsu. Yeah, Reitetsu. No Reitetsu. I actually really like this. This instantly going underrated. It's very underrated. Um, so for people, I assume most people don't know what this anime is, but essentially Hozuki no Reitetsu is an anime about an Oni demon. Like this is it takes place in like Japanese mythological hell, essentially. So like the place where all of the Japanese mythological demons would go, it's like their like the Japanese version of hell is where this takes place. The place of like the demons and Oni and whatnot, right? And you have this guy who's just like in charge of like he's not like the ruler of like this Japanese hell, I forgot what this refers to as, but he's like the right hand man of this person. He's the person who like goes to like all of these places and like make sure people are doing their job, that things are in order, that people are getting, that the human souls are getting their proper punishments for all of eternity. That's his job. It's very slice of life, and I like it. I find it very interesting. There's also like the Japanese heaven, which I think was something along the lines of like Nirvana or whatever. So there's also that, and I like it. It's severely underrated. More people definitely need to watch it. So yes, Kozuki no Rate, love it. Next is what is this? Oh, this is how the realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Here's what I'm giving them this. The hero that was isekai into this world is a college student. They may or may not have majored in business. They may or may not have majored in business and politics. They are described as being a realist from the get-go. It makes sense that they're able to make a lot of these not realistic, a lot of these like smart, like kingdom financial decisions, but also like what you, but and then also like human history you learn from it. But all of the important side characters are female, and all of them take a liking to him. Or if they don't take a liking to him, a lot of the important side characters are female. Um, cute, pretty females. So it's like, mm. It's one of these two. It's either mid or it's pretty good. I'll put it in mid. It's your typical isekai, but instead of like the hero being overpowered, he's just like overpowered because he's smart. And Talent Bound Hanako-kun, best anime. Rewatching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Hanako-kun, favorite anime. Love the art style. Wish I had the entire manga series. Love it. Great. Wish also that there were more seasons. You might not get that though. I'm sad about that. But you know what? We still have the manga, and I would love to buy it. Hanako-kun, top of the list. Rita with a healer. When I watched this and it said that it was uncensored, I thought it meant gore. Gore was not what I was worried about. Gore was not what I should have been worried about. Um, this is another anime that is like borderline X high, but it's a good anime. It's a good anime because it's about bad people doing bad things. Our main character is a protagonist, but he is not a hero. That's a very important difference. We follow. The protagonist is someone who we follow, but the protagonist does not have to be a hero. Antagonist is anyone who is in the way of our protagonist's goals. Villains can be protagonists and heroes can be antagonists. It's all about perspective of who you're following and who is in the way of our protagonist's goal. Our protagonist is not a good person. He is not a hero. He is a victim. I'm not going to lie about that. He is a victim. He's been abused in so many unimaginable ways, and he's out to take revenge on it. And you know what? He's not a good person as he takes his revenge. But neither are the people who's taken his revenge on. In this anime, you don't like anyone. Nobody is a good person. Nobody is redeemable. It's a it's an anime about bad people doing bad things. It's about someone who's roughly on the same level of these people, making some of these bad people pay. It is strangely cathartic when you see the people who did him wrong in his first life get what they had coming. It is very disturbing when you see how they get what they get coming back to them. It is the horrible. It is not horrible. It is a gruesome show that is about bad people doing bad things, and it does not skip out on anything. Best anime. Would never watch this more than once. That is a that anime is a one-time traumatic experience. You watch it once, you get your little trauma, and then you're out and you're done. That's it. There is no rewatch and redo of the healer. Best anime, I cannot put you up there because if I did, I that would just be me torturing myself. But redo the healer, best anime. Do not watch. If you're below the age of 18, do not watch. Best anime. Nights with the Cats. Slice of Life. The art is a lot more cartoony. Very cartoony art. It's very simple. Cute. Each episode is like less than 5 minutes. So it's like literally slice of life of just 5 minute short little like episodic clips of just like this dude's night with the cat. It was just like, yeah, this dude's nights with a cat. It's cute. I think anyone who wants a cat, who has a cat, would love this because everyone who has a cat would probably relate to it, and everybody who doesn't have a cat would probably want to have a cat after watching this. Rewatching. And because the episodes are so short too, it's very easy to rewatch. Mm. Best anime. Because of how it is, you could definitely rewatch it. You could definitely like rewatch specific episodes that you really like, but rewatching the full anime, I'm not too sure. But I would definitely rewatch like certain episodes that I really liked. But best anime, severely underrated. Actually, no, I'm putting this down here. Severely underrated. Not enough people know about this anime, and that is a crime. Everybody should know about this anime. Severely underrated. Uramichi Oni's Life Lessons with Uramichi Oni-san. It is about a 30-year-old man who used to be a gymnast who is now like an actor for a kids television program, for kids educational television program. He hates life. He is depressed. He is depressed. He hates life. He is not all emotionally, mentally stably there. Best anime, but severely underrated. I am watching it. I've watched it twice already, actually. In order, I've watched On High School 3 times, this twice, and then I haven't rewatched Hanigoken, but I would. I definitely would rewatch Hanigoken. But yeah, I'd be rewatching these anime without a doubt. This is Indo and Kobayashi Live. This is not an isekai, but it's very isekai-esque. Two high school students who are part of the broadcasting club decide to practice their sports commentary and analysis, skills by doing commentary and analysis on a otome game that Endo, one of the girl high school student, likes to play. No, sorry, Kobayashi. I think Kobayashi's the girl. Um, and yeah, Lizaletta is and it's they're following Lizaletta, which is the villainess, um, who, the girl who who played this Otome game like 50 times. It's just like, Lizaletta's not a villain. She's just a misunderstood tsundere. And we see, and then all of a sudden now, like some of the characters in the game can hear them. They think they're gods because they know what's going to happen and stuff. The prince is falling for Lizaletta's Sundara tendencies because, before he had no idea what a Sundara was. But because of their commentary and analysis, he's figuring out what makes Lizaletta so cute. Underrated, severely underrated. I like it. It has so many cute moments of just romance and jealousy and her being Sundara, and there's even like a little romance between Indo and Kobayashi, which is like just so cute. I love it. Severely underrated. This is definitely one of the better isekai slash isekai-esque animes that I've watched, for sure, without a doubt. Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. Um, Zetsubo actually means depression. Um, actually, wait, no, I think that means depression. Well, essentially, this, first of all, art style, very unique. Um, if Depending on where you watch the show, it will be tagged. One of the genres would be a parody, and it is a parody. It feels very nonsensical, but it's very fun to watch. Tetsubo Sensei is a guy. who is a teacher who whose name, when written in a certain way, looks like the kanji for the word depression. That makes him depressed. But also, he's just overreacts. Every day is like it's like a new lesson for these students, and he just like goes into like this spiral of depression because life is horrible, society is bad, and then it makes him wanna, um, off himself. So, but he never succeeds. It never succeeds. It's always just like a why the music stop right when I say that, huh? But no, severely underrated. Severely underrated. It's such a good anime. I personally find it really fun to watch. There's like 50 different reiterations of like Sayonara's Vetsubo Sensei for some reason, which I don't understand. Um, but it's just fun, to watch. Personally, I think I enjoyed it, at least. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Tokyo Ghoul, Tokyo Ghoul was one of the animes, was one of the earlier animes that I've watched. Again, that was like during that time where I finally differentiated anime from cartoons. There was like the time where I thought they were like the same thing, and I was watching a lot of whatever they had on Toonami. But then at some point, I stopped watching anime. Then I watched Vampire Knight, which is like my re-entrance into the anime world after I had found out that they were different from cartoons, and well, that was definitely a shocker. And then I just and then I watched these, but it was mostly Naruto, and then it was just like off, and then I just like didn't watch anime again. And then Tokyo Ghoul started showing, and essentially that helped me re-enter into the anime realm. That's anime. I've heard some people don't like Tokyo Ghoul. I like Tokyo Ghoul, so it's good. Like a lot, like if we exclude me being a kid in like freaking kindergarten, like staying up really late to watch Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. Tokyo Ghoul, as far as like in terms of like me re-entering the anime sphere with like a better understanding of like what anime is and all of that stuff. Like it's one of my earlier memories. So it has a place in my heart. Best anime. Ah, what is it called? Pastor Lauren. It's like her name again. Wait, hold on. Oh, no, gotta do it here, right? I gotta remember the title of this. Hold on. Dang, if I had watched it recently, I'd be able to find it no problem. Okay, Saint Cecilia, that's her name. So the anime is called, where did I put it? Called Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lauren. It is a romance anime about a pastor and it's about a pastor and a saint of a church. It is cute. It is wholesome. Underrated. More people should watch this. Beautiful, cute, adorable, romance. Underrated. Watch, please. Nasha has a place in my heart. Have watched it multiple times now, at least twice. Not watched the entire series twice though. It multiple times. Inuyasha also has a special place in my heart. Great Infinity. Best anime. Not the first sports anime that I've watched, but I'm not really a big fan of sports anime, so I actually don't watch them often. So I really like it. I like how they tackled it. I like how it was just like, oh, this high stakes skater things, and I thought it was like just really cool. Um, love the friendship between these two. I am a basic person, so I do ship them. I'm very basic. Ice Guy and his cool female colleague. Underrated, severely underrated. My friend, my friend got me into this. Severely underrated. Good anime. It is slice of life, office worker. There's some people who are like descendants of like some of these mythological creatures. Our ice guy is one of them. Whenever he gets around, the girl that he likes, he like freaking blushes and it starts to snow and he like freezes and he's nervous. And it's so freaking cute. I love not only him, but also the girl. I love them both. I simp for them both. I can't say that on stream. I shrimp for them. Gosh dang it. I just love these two. They're so cute. I love it. Next is the most heretical boss villainess. Most heretical boss villainess. I would say that's just pretty good. Um, when I first started it, I thought this had the potential to be one of the better Isekai animes that I watched. And then I just kept watching, and I'm not gonna say it got worse. It actually stayed the same throughout. I think it was just uh, like I don't want to put it in mid. I think it deserved. Personally, I would put it like it was pretty good. It was pretty good because I enjoyed it. Your Eternity. I think it's underrated. Best anime. Made me cry, and I cried for like 2 episodes. Best anime. Watch. That's all I have. All I have to say is that I cried for like 2 episodes. I watched 3 episodes and I cried for like the first two. Like that's Image in the Shadow. Best anime. Season 2 is out. I'm going to watch it for sure. I love Image of the Shadow. It's like the character's so overpowered, but like God damn, do they make it entertaining? Like typically for a lot of isekais, it's like man, the character's like overpowered, and then it's like so boring because like they're overpowered and stuff. But they handled his overpoweredness well by making him a Chunibyo. Like because our main character's a Chunibyo who's just like I am the imminence of the shadow. However, I must I must be the perfect mop character. So then it's just like him doing that and it's like they handle it well. So best anime. It really attention. Best anime. Again, it's an earlier anime that I've watched. Has a special place in my heart. Best anime. Pharmacy. Isekai. This is actually an isekai. This is about a doctor, no, specifically a pharmacist. who died overworking himself and is teleported to this world with very, very basic, bad medical care. And there's also magic, and he uses his magic to create medicines. And what I really like is that he's not smart for no reason. Like, he doesn't just know things. He knows things because he's a physician. And he didn't just work at a pharmacy. He did research. He researched drugs and like he researched medical drugs and medicine and helped develop medicines like in the real world. So of course he can be like, man, what is the chemical compound for like an Advil and for like a pain medicine, for like a basic pain medicine, and he'd be able to be like, oh yeah, this is the chemical compound, or these are the chemicals, or yeah, these are like the chemicals within this, pain medicine. I can create he can like create basic elements, and from there he just kind of like builds up the things that he needs. And essentially he starts a pharmacy and helps people. And I think it's really good. I think it's a really good anime. For an isekai, it is a really good anime. It is severely underrated, and I think that more people should watch it. Um, yeah, I wouldn't put it in best anime, but I think it is definitely underrated, and that more people should watch it. And definitely one of the best isekais I've watched. Let's see. I can't. This is another one of those long ass isekai titles. Come on, I know you're in here somewhere. Good. This is like campfire cooking with my absurd ability. Oh yeah, campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. That's the name of the anime. Um, it's simple. It's cute. I think it's funny. And it's pretty good. Personally, I would put in pretty good. It, it's like between pretty good and mid for me, but I'm willing to put it in pretty good because I finished it, haven't I? I finished it. Let me double check. I did finish it. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Also, Parallel World Pharmacy is another season. That's, that's all I have to say. Parallel World Pharmacy, another season is mandatory. The House Husband, best anime. Come on. Slice of life, Yakuza shenanigans, fusing with mundane, like household chores. Come on. How is that in best anime? Let's see, I got something. This one. I purposely brought up a lot of the anime that honestly, I did a lot of anime that I felt like was good that a lot of people would watch because, well, I feel like this is good and they deserve more love and recognition. I also got the anime, such as that one, which was called Dangers in My Heart. Here's what happened, right? I saw Dangers of the Heart, I read the summary. The summary was like, our boy over here, he's a little edgy. Hold on. He's middle school, you know, he's a little edgy, he's like, in my heart, I dream of murder. And he's just like, and man, there's like this girl in my class, everyone loves her, she's like the class idol. Yeah, she's gonna be my first target. And you know what? And it's a romance, so they're supposed to like fall in love with each other. And I imagine there to be a bit more of like a. I expected him to be a bit more edgy, and I expected him to stick with his edginess a bit more. I expected him to be like actually like very just like dumb, but like still attempts to like actually do something, for him to like actually to actually like show signs of like actually wanting to do that stuff, and then like specifically like to her, and then like going and being like, it's not that. Maybe, yeah, I don't actually want. Maybe, maybe I don't actually want to kill anyone. Or maybe he could just be like turn into a yonder and he was just like, maybe I don't want to kill you specifically, but everybody else is still on the list. Or maybe it's just like he's like the person who like hates everyone and then she's the person who like loves everyone, so he's just like, I want to kill everyone. And she's just like petting his head, just like, please don't. Then I won't be able to hang out with my other friends. It's like that's what I wanted it to be. That's what I was expecting. That's first of all, that's what I was expecting from the summary. And that's low key what I wanted it to be. So when I see this and I see that it's like he's just like a regular guy who's just like trying to be edgy. He's not even actually edgy, he's like trying to be edgy. He it's like and it's I'm like, you could have been better. I think the bad thing is I went into it with so many expectations and it meant none of it. But also I feel like though he was like falling in love with her a little too fast, but that also could have been because he just liked her from the start. He could have just like liked her from the start and that was just like his excuse to like not admit that he liked her. But it hurt my soul the fact that this was not as slow as much of a slow burn as I hoped it would be. So it could have been better. It could have been better, or it's not my cup of tea. Maybe some seasons are wrong. Like, oh, that's pretty cute, but like, I think it's not my cup of tea. It's just like I went into it with such high expectations that I was like, can enjoy you properly, So like now I can't enjoy it properly because I went into like such expectations. Wait, was something in here twice? Rebuild the Kingdom was in here twice. Hold on. Next is Kamikatsu. Um, a world without a religion, or a world with no god. So essentially, our homeboy was in a his dad was like a leader of some cult who worshipped some like god who he was like, they're not real. And then his dad and the cult members were like, you have to achieve this this of age ritual where we put you in the barrel built tied to rocks and freaking throw you into the ocean. And then he like died because who how the fuck would he not? And his dying scroll was like, "The God will save you," and he's just like, "There is no fucking God. There's like this God you worship doesn't exist." And then he's like drowns because of course he does, and then he's transported to a world that has no religion because he was like, man, he lived in such like this hardcore cult family that like he was like, man, I wish I lived in a world that had no religion, and that happened. He was teleported into he's caught into a world without a religion. The issue, however, was that well, if you don't have a religion, well then how do you explain unexplainable occurrences? For example, this is like a little, medieval, obviously, because it's isekai. So he's just like, so how do you guys explain things like tornadoes or tsunamis? Because you guys don't know that kind of things yet. And they're just like, oh, the ruler of the kingdom tells us. And like that's just it. Like the ruler of the kingdom just tells us, how everything is, what everything is. Um and they're also doing like some pretty shady stuff. Um and Homeboy didn't like that. Homeboy ends up meeting with the god that his dad and his dad's cult worshipped, and they were like, I have no power here. Help me gain followers. I can gain the power to prevent this ruler from killing a whole bunch of people. Homeboy was like, okay, sounds good to me. So he used his knowledge of modern technology and his god's power to help him to gain followers. And essentially, they're bringing religion to a world where religion does not exist. It's really interesting. Um, I haven't finished it, so if you want to spoil it, I don't mind. If there's like anything you want to talk about with it, I don't mind spoilers. But personally, I would put this in pretty good. Just because I haven't watched it fully yet. But I think it's pretty good so far. I enjoy it. Do I have things to say about this? This is taming the final boss. Because I'm the villainess, I'm going to tame the final boss or something like that. No comment. No comment because watching this felt like a fever dream low key. I couldn't completely understand what was going on. For example, the romance was a little too fast. Just a lot of things was happening and my brain couldn't wrap around it properly. I don't know if that's just me being dumb or if that was like actually not that great. But I definitely had trouble. I mean, I didn't have trouble watching it. I just had trouble following along with it and understanding it. So if you've watched this and you're just like, oh, it's not that difficult. It's just about this and not, please tell me. Because I'm lost. Whenever I think back to this anime, I feel lost. But because of that, I gotta put it in no comment. I wanna put it. I think I'll put in not my cup of tea. I don't think it's so Fahrenheit. I'm just a little lost. A long ass title for another isekai. Hold on. This is trapped in a dating sim. The world of Otome games is tough for mom. It is a it is an anime about our boy who it's always a boy about our boy who his sister asks him like, "Hey, can you play this Otome game for me? Because I'm shameless and don't want to actually play the game to listen to the ending dialogue because they have no fucking shame." So him being the good brother he is just like fine. So he plays the Otome game. The Otome game is like severely unbalanced, severe power imbalances, bad world building. Can't seem to like decide what kind of game it wants to be. It's generally just a mess of a game. So of course, when he dies from not properly taking care of himself because he just hated this game so much that he just rejected all form of like personal health to finish it as quick as possible. He dies tripping down some stairs. What a way to go, my guy. and gets teleported to this world. And of course, the world is as much as a mess as the anime is, or as the game is. And well, I have to give credit where credit is due. You can't complain about the world building being horrible in this anime because it's very explicitly stated by the character himself that the world is not that well built. There's a lot of like one-off comments that never make its way back into the game again. A lot of mechanics that don't make its way back into the game again. There's a lot of juxtapositions, which is like things that should not belong in this world existing in this world. Like this feels like a very magical fantasy world, like medieval. Yet you guys have like fucking airships and Gundam. Like it's very all over the place. And because the anime itself addresses how all over the place the world is, you can't get too mad at it when it is, because it was addressed. You knew what you were going into. You can't be mad at it. So, and I gotta give her credit is due, and that was pretty clever of them to excuse poor world building. You know, you gotta give them where credit's due. Gotta give credit where credit's due. I will say it is interesting. So it goes in mid. The one thing I think I absolutely loved about this anime, though, was how our main character is just hated by everyone. Of course, except for like the original villainess and like heroine of the Otome gang. But like no, he's hated by everyone and he doesn't care. Like he's just like, I hate this game. I don't care if you hate me. Like there's the scene where he where, like someone essentially drops the gauntlet and they don't really have anyone to fight for them because they can't really fight for themselves. So this is the villainess, by the way, and he comes in, he's just like, I'll do it, because I kind of feel bad for you, and well, I don't like these guys who I had to try so hard to romance when I played the game. Yeah, I don't like them. So he goes and he has like a little tournament with them with their little Gundam pieces and I'll say there is a scene where one of the people who he goes against, one of like the love interests that he goes against, um like he defeats them and then he rips off the limbs in their Gundam and he laughs about it. He's enjoying it. Everybody's booing him, everybody's just like does not like him, and he's just like enjoying the fact that he can rip the limbs off of his Gundam and just smack him with. Now, of course, killing him, but like I like the attitude. I like the attitude of the main character. The attitude of like the main character. I don't care how like over the top it is, how exaggerated it is, how stupid it is. I like the main character's attitude, like how he's just like, I'm going to do something that is not at all honorable and I'm going to enjoy it because I don't like anyone here and he just does it and I like it. I love it. I like I love the attitude for this character. And that's about it. The character's attitude and shit personality saved this entire anime for me. So it went up to mid. I don't think it's third. I don't think I'll put it in pretty good. I'd put it in mid. But it's not like mid where it's like mid as in bad mid, just mid as in like it's neutral, it's mid. Next is Romantic Killer. I like it. It's a nice, fun kind of like spin on the typical romance genre. A girl who would rather not be involved in romance and would just rather play games and eat chocolate and pet her cat all day. Um, it's a nice little spin on it. slow. It's very much a slow burn because of that. My best anime. It is on Netflix. Please watch. It's really good. It's funny. It's funny. I like it. It's funny. It's cute. I like it. Yuri on Ice, the first sports anime I ever watched. Special place in my heart. Best anime. I heard there's going to be a movie. Don't know how much that checks off. Don't know how true that is. But if there is a movie, I'm praying that it, gets released this year. Mm, Yuri on Ice, and then this is a duplicate. So yeah, this is all of the anime. Most of my anime is just like up here. And find a lot of things to be overrated. I didn't seem to have a lot of things that's not my cup of tea or that I thought were just bad. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, this is um my tier list for the anime that I watched. What I'm actually want to do for everything all the way up to pretty good. I'm probably going to put like the title, like the name of all of the animes, like on Twitter, so that way people can watch it. Um, yeah. So yeah, if you think some of these animes sounded or seemed really interesting, but you can't remember the title of it, don't worry, it will be on my Twitter. Um, I'll probably also post a picture of this tier list as well, and then maybe have like the what text the word the my recommendations and like the title for either just the ones that I recommend or everything, and then maybe highlighting what I recommended, like what I actually recommend. So everybody can have it to watch. Because if you think, "Oh, that one doesn't sound that bad, you can watch it for yourself and see. Um, you know, this was just a way for me to rant about the anime that I've been watching, and also to just give some people some recommendations of anime to watch. So yeah, um, I guess that's all. Let's see. Gonna go over to here. Back to my just chatting thing while I like get this picture thing taken care of and stuff. Um, if I can, hold on for like a quick, beautiful second. I'm going to do this. That is probably not going to look pretty when I try to look at it. That's fine. Mm, Nope. I need to take a picture of this somehow. I don't know how to do that. How do I do that? Oh, oh my gosh, I found out how to do it. Okay. So, of course, by the title of the stream, you'll know that just I'm not just talking about anime. I'm also going to talk about anime tropes because I really like talking about anime tropes. It's my little interest. So actually, not only so I actually do want to do another tier list for anime tropes, or maybe not specifically anime tropes, but just like story, plot, character tropes, and just be able to rant and talk about it with everyone. So I planned, but I did not plan that well. I did not plan for an actual tier list for me to do for that specifically. We've got to search one up really quick. Um, Oh, wait, why was my mic mute? Sorry, I have no idea how long I've been mute. Hopefully I wasn't mute like the entire time. If I was mute the entire time, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be so mad if I was mute like the entire time. Royalty AU. I like them. It's kind of have no opinion on, but I like them. Coworkers. Coworkers is very basic. It's simple. Sorry, I'll say it's simple, but there's something nice about simple things, you know? Workers. I don't have much an opinion on it. Most of the things that I would read fix for is like they're technically already coworkers. So it's more about the setting than like the actual relationship between the two. This I've never read that before. I've actually never read that before. So it's going there. Childhood friends to enemies to lovers. Oh, oh, villain X villain. Yeah, I like that one too. All-time favorites. Just two villains, just like loving each other. The power of friendship, except they're villains. It's amazing. Almost kiss, interrupted kiss. It depends on its. Oh, I mean, actually, no. I don't really have an opinion on it. Like, it's so common, it's so used that I've just like been numbed down to like that. So it's like any execution is like, eh. Is this a trope? That's not a trope. That's a scene. Not a trope. That's a scene, my guy. Um, opinion on it. Like, I don't have opinion on most like sensual scenes in fics because I don't really care for. If you see my Twitter, you'd be like, "You're damn lying about that," and you're right. But no, I guess it's just like all sensual scenes like that to me have like don't necessarily have like especially stronger feeling than the other. Is they're just like scenes, but like different versions. It's like different versions of the same thing for me. Here's it there. Not a fan. Not a fan. It just feels so unrealistic and childish because in my head I'm just like depends on execution because I have read one. I think it's like a one shot or just like a really short story where it was actually executed really well and I didn't mind the truth or dare trope, but it has to be executed really well for it. Like there like there's ooh, is it execution or does it have to be written in a specific way? So far, I've only read one where it was like good. Well, no, because it says yeah. Because if that, then it. So yeah, I guess it just depends on extreme slow burn. Watermark that shit. I love slow burns, and when it's extreme slow burn, ooh, that payoff feels so good when you finally get together. Monster slash inhuman. Hmm, that one's actually no, that one actually can't put a neutral. That I don't particularly like it, but it's not something. It's something where it's just like I have no opinion. Oh my goodness, domesticity, the domesticity fix. I like them. They're cute. They're sweet. They're exotic. Execution. This I haven't read it before. I actually haven't read it before. Amnesia. If it's not written in a specific way, then no. I hate amnesia. It's so it's still like such a cheap because the trope is so easy to use that it's turned into such a cheap cliche, like overused trope just to make someone forget no requited love. No, I love them. Love that. Oblivious, ex oblivious. Some execution. Those can be frustrating to read. I hate everyone but you. It's so sweet. But shut up here. No opinion, believe it or not. Um, actually, no, it depends on execution. I actually, let's go with but it depends on execution. There are some pairings where it's just like a show because it makes sense. And there are some executions where it's like, mm, I mostly read like the ant executions. But when it's written with like a nice pairing or like a really nice execution, it can be really good. I love these. That's so cute. Idiots in love. I love it when idiots are in love. Lovers to enemies. I have not read enough of these alone. Soulmates. I like them. It's very diverse because there's different kinds of soulmate AUs. Like there's spring AU, there's the tattoo AU, there's the like pink colors and black and white AU. Like there's so many different flavors of soulmates. I like them. It's very. I read that one before, but that sounds interesting. I'd read that. Villain X Loyal. I'd read that. Oh, someone. Can we? This is. Oh, I want this. That sounds. I'd read that. I've never read it before, but I'd read it. That ending. I like that ending. Miscommunication. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of miscommunication. Very rarely is miscommunication written well. So I'd rather just not have it. Nah, I'm not. Nah, see, whenever. But, ooh, gotta fix something. Let me look up what this is. Oh, oh, get that on my face. No, 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 no. Nope, nope, nope. Get that out of my face. I've never read it before, but get that out of my face. I don't even like the definition of it. Get that out of my face. Ghost sex human. I like them. I like them. It doesn't even have to be romantic. I just like, the idea of just like how are you gonna live with it? Like, you gonna handle it well. You gonna be nice. It's a ghost pervert. Are they gonna use their skills against you to make you uncomfortable, or like are they gonna like there are people you don't like for you, you know? Naughty Rich Kid, ex Naughty Rich Kid. I haven't read that before, but it sounds interesting. Plain clothes, it's cute. Good. Right person, wrong time. Oh, I also like that. Thick Thick, that has to be written in a specific way. Then I'm typically not a big fan of sick flicks because the way they execute it is so like baby, quote unquote. Like, for example, a person will have like a fever, they'll have like the flu or a cold or whatever, and like the person will just dote on them. Like there's no like the person will be like suffering, like they're gonna die, and then like the other person is just like, oh my goodness, I gotta take care of you so much. Oh my goodness, don't do the finger. I'm gonna cook everything. I'm gonna clean everything, and I'm just like, that's so excessive. Like it's like when I get sick, I still gotta go to school. When I get sick, I still gotta go to work. I get sick, you take your medicine, you get a good night's sleep, you eat some healthy stuff that help you, and you deal with it. So when I see fics, that's just like, oh my goodness, I look at them weird. I look at them weird. I'm like, really? You don't know? Really? You can't take care of yourself? Like, really? Really? It's fucking cold. Okay? You're not gonna die. You know, like, sick fics get on my nerves. The only time I will ever read a sick fic if it's like their hospitalized type sick fic, where it's like it's actually serious. Other than that, yeah, it's a time loop. I haven't read it before. Staring at each other's lips. Opinion. Actually, I have no opinion. I mean, I don't know what my opinion is supposed to be. It's just okay. Like in my head, it's just okay, you know? Mhm. That's gender swap. It's interesting. Is it like a gender swap AU or is it just like base swap? I'll say it depends on execution. 3x Lester, come on. Of course. It's so cute while saying that. Slow burn, water market. There's slow burn and there's extreme slow burn. I like to self so they both go on water market. Oh. Oh, it's like that. Oh. Oh. Kind of thing. And you're just like, I don't know why but I like it so much. Like, it's so simple, but it's so powerful. I have no idea why I like it so much, but I do. Pirates. Pirates. I have read it before. I've only read one though. So obviously it depends on execution. Well, AU, I like them. What specific? Oh, what specifically does this mean? Tell me out. Okay, so it's like so it's just like specifically about. Okay, so no, this one actually doesn't go in no opinion. This is actually depends on execution. I've seen something that I guess would be considered this that was executed so well. And it was specifically because it focused not on this, like it didn't focus on this aspect. It focused on like the emotional bond and like the actual relationship between the two characters. And that was just like some method that one of the characters had like and that was just like a method that was used to kind of like explore their relationship, to explore their bond, to like, you know, bring the two closer together, but also create obstacles. It was just like a method of, you know, executing like the bond and like the relationship between it. So this depends on execution. Because if this is just like pure, just like that and nothing else, then it's like, it's like, but if there's a lot more of like emotional investment in it, then freaking masterpiece. Kisses with height difference. No opinion. I'm sorry. Fix it, fix. Please, fix it. We read you for a reason. Fix it, please. Oh, I've actually never read this before. That was interesting though. Oh, and there was only one bed. No opinion. I like to make fun of it though. Just every time it's just like, and there was only one bed. I just like to. It was fun. For comfort, often favorite. Or ex-flirt. Look at front. Love triangle. Okay, so are we talking about a love V or like actually a love triangle? Because if we're talking about a love V, it depends on execution. If we're talking about a love triangle, it will probably still depend on execution. I think this is. I don't remember putting this up. I'll put this up. No, singing to the other. I mean, I don't belong in a fan, like not a fan anyway. We'll do you later. Oh, where are you next? I don't know. Oh, song trick. For song trick, I don't think I've read it. Unless you're talking about a fic that's based on a song. Otherwise, I have read it, and that depends on it. Tom X Angry. Yeah. Also haven't read this, and I don't think have I read that. I I simply haven't read that one because I feel like that has the potential to be a really common trope used, but I surprisingly haven't read it. Power imbalance. Not really. I also have you get to go right next to your brethren, right there. Yeah. Shelter Friends to Lovers. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite. Um, uh, yeah. Like, personally, execution. It has to be cute. It cannot be inappropriate. It has to be cute and it has to be wholesome. That's it. That is my requirement. Steven. I like them. Pancakes. No comment. Bodies. Mm, I haven't read it. I haven't read it. You also get to go next to your brother. An X and have I? But like that and like a human be considered that? Oh wait. You also get to go next to your brethren. All of you. All of you need to be next to each other. That's inhuman. Like, oh, like, where's the other one? Like that one? No. Oh wait, they're both. But I still have no opinion. I guess I'll say no opinion. Wait, that's just talking about in general. Yeah, no opinion. You know, I guess it kind of depends on execution. That, mm, where did I put you? Where did I put you? I have lost it. Oh, here it is. Um, on execution and or the pairing. Not really a fan. Um, this is where my where you guys start to learn a bit more about. Oh, I'm just over here exposing myself. Wow. And I think not a fan, and depends on execution slash pairing. Hurt, no comfort. Where I'll put her comfort. I like to be a fan, guys. I'm sorry. Bullying. No, it's not like you're romancing the bully. It's just simply bullying. Hold on. 'Cause I've read it so much that again I've kind of become desensitized to it. So I'm just like, but also it's like, I'm drawing the other. Okay, I read one. And I like it. What are the games they you have? I don't read a lot of like cross media AUs like Hogwarts AUs or Hunger Game AUs. It's quite stupid. Oh, let's go. Let my idiot be in love with someone who can compensate for their stupidity. Your brethren. Fluff? Okay, we're skipping a little fluff. Oh yeah. Yeah. Fluff. Arranged marriage. Execution. Execution is so important for this. Forced proximity. I've not read that before. Reckless slash overly caring. Read that one. Friends, but this all the time. That I haven't read that. Have I? I have. It depends on execution. Succubus slash Incubus. I've read that one. It's really interesting, especially when they combine the fact that like they're solely like lust creatures, but then they're like, but we love each other. It's not just us. Then there's a little bit of like a, and then there's a little bit of like a twist to it. There's a bit more depth to it, right? And it's red, so I assume they mean in like sexual way, but like I'm thinking about it like if you were like okay, but like the tone, like romance, right? Then it's like, then yeah, for this one. But if we're talking about just that in and of itself, depend like if we're basing it off the color, no opinion. Celebrity, half read. I have read that. Depends on execution. Relationship depends on execution. Me kisses. It's weird. It's weird, but I like it. A wholesome and the bastard. Girl, I love that. Forbidden lovers. I like it. It's good. Getting back together. If you're talking about repeatedly, then I'm just sitting there like you, you, but if it's if it's like oh they broke up now by getting back together, it depends on execution. I've never read this before. I've never read that before. What does that even word? Requited, unrequited love. I've never read that, but dang this that's I've never read a Danganronpa. Yeah. They were roommates. I actually have no opinion on it. Roommates is used a lot, but it's to it's typically just like a smaller trope, really simple, just like more of like a setting trope than it is like an actual trope that's like utilized. Sometimes no opinion. I don't know. There's like a lot of like like this where it's just like I don't really have an opinion on it. Then there's like down here. Okay, now are you talking about like in tears crying and then you're doing it, or are you talking about like there's actual emotions involved? If you're talking about there's actual emotions involved, then like yeah. But if you're saying just like you're just like crying, then it's like no. But if it's meaning both, it would have to be written in a very specific. College AU, I like them. Nothing special. I like them. Actually, college AUs is kind of like I'm indifferent. Like if you're in college, I'm in high school. I think. If you're in high school and you're in college, you know, huh? Good for you. Toxic slash unhealthy relationship. It has to be written in a very specific way. And when it's written in a way, it's like you're not romanticizing it. This would be like here like if I see this bad on a fig, I'm expecting it to be paired with this. I'm expecting it to be paired with like one of these two as well. I'm expecting to like if I see this, I'm expecting to see one of these two plus to that, or or maybe even a happy ending, but like it's not with that person. Like like if I see this, I'm expecting some bad vibes as I read. So it has to be specific because I don't support romanticizing, not in any way. Weird and unimpressed. I love that. I like it. Them against the world. I haven't read Mom Friend, Ex Mom Friend. Oh, like the two mom friends. I haven't read it. Now I know what's next. I don't like get that shit out of me. I'm scared and I'll protect you. I think it depends on execution. Dead Dove. I like reading controversial things. I like it when it talks about issues and it addresses those issues and we read about those issues and it's not at all romanticizing or glorifying it in any way. It's just simply like Dead Dove, like if you go back to the anime tier list, redo of a healer would be a Dead Dove do not eat. I love redo of a healer. In my head, Dead Dove do not eat means one of the tropes could be bad people doing bad things. Not at all romanticized or glorified. You're just simply watching bad things happen. Because I handle gore, because I handle written gore pretty well, I can read a lot of like gory dead doves do not eat stories without like, being too affected by it. And because of that, I put it up here. And also because I've read like two, one of them was like so good, like it gripped me emotionally, and I cannot find the story again, and I hate myself for not saving it. And then there's another one that I read when I was trying to find the story, also gripped me emotionally. That was not really exposing anything at all, and it was just interesting. I like it when there's like it's like addictive, but there's horror and there's violence and there's gore, because then it's like I don't know. I like it. You're looking at me like I got some fucked up teeth, but I mean, okay. Um, there is always a chance that I've read something just I didn't know it happened. So I really hope that's like not something bad. I'm like, oh, it means social media. Oh, okay. So then, yeah, I actually have read these not on AO3 though. I typically send like meme version, like meme Sulkmed pics, where they're not actually stories. It's just like, man, these characters feel like if they have social media and we're like conversing on Twitter. I like it. It's funny. I like them. They're fun. I like fun. Canon Divergence. Love it. Villain corrupts the hero. Ooh, that's good. Good. Have I read it? I haven't read it. I haven't read it. This sounds so good. You first good. Oh, so cute. I like it. This is so cute. Enemies to lovers. Right up there with childhood friends to lovers. Cliched overuse, I know, but like, I don't know. Resolved. I like it. I like that. Resolved tension. Reader. Uh, mm, I don't read X readers often, but I have read X readers that feel a bit more like X, like, like original character than readers. On Fusion Gremlin X Gremlin. I haven't read. That's so fun. Gremlin X Gremlin. So fun. I have not read a lot of tropes though. Like a lot of these tropes are just like the same thing. Just tropes are like just the same thing. These are the same thing. Proc fix. Or whatever. So I like them. Actually, no, it depends on execution. Like most of the quote unquote crack fix I've read have been in like video format and were typically self-made, like social media fix or something of the like. Very rarely have I read like a pure like crack fic that's like written that I've enjoyed. Sometimes it just makes not enough sense for me, or just you know, no opinion on this. I don't really have opinions on things like that. Yeah, Sun and Moon. I like them. They're good. Slash angry slash or cold slash angry and warm happy. I like them. They're cute. Local AUs. Oh, and when they utilize a specific historical setting that isn't used a lot, like if they use like typically for historical AUs, they typically have like older, it's typically like European setting. If they use like American setting, that would actually be pretty unique, or maybe even as far as like freaking what's the word, like like East Asian or like Asia, like historical AUs. That has finished me so interesting. People don't understand how underutilized. At least maybe it's just because like I haven't like read them, but like for me and like from what I've read, it the historical AU feels so underutilized. you can do more than just put them in like a historical England, you know? You could put them in historical anywhere. I've never seen anyone put them in like historical America, like colonial America. I've never seen anyone put them in anywhere other than like Europe, specifically anywhere other than like England. So to put them with samurai, put them in China during like the Third Kingdoms War. Like do do something a little more interesting, you know? Teach me, yeah. Like we already know about England. Teach us some more world history, you know? That's because okay. Accidental kisses are always written badly. I'm sorry. Like a specific no, actually. I'm not a fan. It's not bad. It's just like it's never written. The accidental cases always feel so unrealistic that it's just like like button. I have read this once. I think I read it once, and it was it depends on execution. It was way too sudden for my liking, but sudden's like the key point of it, so not a fan. I have read that. Reading that makes me uncomfortable. Like I feel secondhand embarrassment, but also just fully just discomfort, like uncomfortable reading this. Get that out of my face. That is a no. This is wait. Then what's a name? Wait, I don't know anatomy, guys. Hold on. I'm not a doctor. What's the difference? Oh, it's the back of the neck. Oh, specifically the back of the neck. Oh, okay. Well, I was right. It is neck, but I was just thinking of it more generally when this is clearly the general version of it. Yeah, they go together like that. Love at first sight depends on execution. It's cute. I don't really have any strong opinions on Current Criminal Ex Detective AU, but you know what? I should read a Hazel fic. Oh my goodness, I should read like a freaking Genshin Hazel fic that's Detective X Criminal. Hazel's already a detective. We just need to find a criminal. Oh my goodness. And then we also have Risley now, so that's another one. I mean, that really wouldn't be detective criminal, but horrific. Depends on execution. Again, typically when I read for it, it's typically paired with like dead doves. So get that off my face. I know what you're saying, okay? But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be red. It could be purple. It doesn't have to be sexual. It could just be general. Generally, it has some merits to it, and it's interesting. You can do a lot of things with APO. Okay, moving on. Leading again years later. I read it once. No strong opinions about it. And the bottle kiss depends on execution. Sometimes the moment I see spin a bottle, I'm just like, oh, one of those. Never typically like the spin a bottle scenarios or like the game scenarios. It was always kind of weird to me. Um, so yeah. Mm, Actually, no, I'm just not a fan. Oh, we're off of Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare? No, because for Truth or Dare, there was one. have fairly good execution where I was like, I could. But for spin the bottom, I haven't one yet. And because of that, I just popular it's unpopular. I've read that pretty common. I like it. Mm, do I like it or do I have no strong opinion? I guess I have to get it. Pick. Okay, so here's the thing. I read one that had kids, but I don't know if it's a kid fic. So is it simply there are the kids, or are they like aged down to kids? Like if you've ever watched Total Drama Island, they have like a new show based off of it where like all the characters were kids. So it's like in a way that would be like a kid fic, or so it's just when you give them a child raise. I have, but I've also seen it where they've aged down a character to a kid. It depends on execution. Yeah, it depends on execution. Enemies to reluctant allies to allies. God, ex, ooh, you want to kiss me so bad. I've read this so many times. It's because like there's like this specific character. Like I've read it, but like there's like this specific character who specifically like in character would make that response. Like I've read this so many times because there was a character who like within character would say something like, "Oh, you want to kiss me so bad," and it's fucking annoying. I like it. I like it so much because man, established relationship neutral about it. I have no opinions about it. I haven't read it often. Not a lot of people typically do establish relationships. When I do see it though, they're typically one shots or like very short fics. They typically focus on like domesticity or like some other thing. Um yeah, established relationship as a trope in and of itself, I have no real like opinions on, but when it's paired with other tropes like domesticity, like domestic relationships where it's just like it feels like where they're dating, but it feels very much that they're like in like married kind of. It's like it just an established relationship trope in and of its own doesn't have enough to pull me in. I actually haven't read Hana Hockey. Oh, well, I haven't read or I haven't heard of Project before until I looked it up. But I also want you to get it out of my face because I found out what it meant. And not only have I not read it before, but I don't ever want to read it. Um, Body kisses. No opinion, believe it or not. No, actually, no, I think I'll put it up. It's like between no opinion and I like these. That point, it kind of depends on execution to depend like whether or not it's no opinion or I like these, but generally I think I like them. And I guess it depends on execution. I- Again, in and of itself, it doesn't really stand much on its own. Crossovers, writing crossovers. Wait, I have. In the Secret of the Lamp, I think they have read, and I I read one. I have no real opinions on it. These definitely hold up on their own, but I just haven't read enough of them to have an opinion on them. Tired. I don't think I've read it that, but man, I would love to. No, I've never read that before. Fun. Oh, uh, hello? Can you hear me? Am I? Okay. And my music stopped. But, um, where was I? Yeah, never read it before. Trapped Together. Where these things be like disappearing. Trapped Together. Read it. I'm not really a fan of it. I don't really. It always sounds so weird. Like I can never get used to that. Like it's so weird. It is so weird. Ew, no. Made a character death. Depends on execution. I told you guys I like the subject. Dark fic? Dark fics or dark? Heard it before. Maybe I've read it, but I've never seen or heard anything specifically does that, so I couldn't really say. It's because those are adorable. I love them. Fantasy AU is always nice. Execution, otherwise it becomes as cliched as as any isekai anime could be. I think dating also depends on execution. Yes, but I typically get it confused. What plot? Technically, there's also another word that could another phrase that could be, but we're going with plot. What plot? No opinion on it, believe it or not. I have read it. I have no strong opinion on it. I have no strong opinions on it. Believe it or not. Star-Crossed Lover. Never read it before. Also told kids. Mm, I've never read it, but I've always thought it would be a little cheesy, I guess. Christmas fic. Never read a Christmas fic. Friends to Lovers is. I like it. They're nice. Oblivious Expert. Depends on execution. Drunken. I have read that before. No strong opinions on it. Coffee shop AUs. So cute. Rain kisses are no strong opinion on it. Angst. Watermark it. Pick up and spend. No opinions on it. We're protective. Like possessive. Slash possessive. Not that big of a fan. Jealousy depends on execution. Scary movies together. No real strong opinions about it. Truth or dare kiss. Where did I put truth in there? That goes with that. Um, yeah, truth or dare is it's the same. Opposites attract. Let me see. The Genfic I see. Y'all probably didn't know that I read Genfics, but I actually really like it when I finally get to read a story that has no romance in it once in a while. It's really nice. 7 seconds. Was it 7 seconds? It was 7 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I've heard 7 minutes. I have no strong opinions on it. I haven't read it often. The mom friend and the gremlin. It's just like that one friend, and you have like a leash on the gremlin. I haven't. I haven't read that one. Sounds so interesting. X plus no, 5 plus 1 thing. I read this once. Fucking, it was amazing. I'm gonna get you out of the way. Go. Join. Join your brethren. Drunken Kiss, I think would be the same. This is like not really a strong opinion on it. Passionate and criminal execution, I guess. For pining. Let's go. Honestly, I have like all this. It's a soul beard with love, a studio with things and mutual time, but also somehow a generic. Obsessive villain with hero ex then music with under ex affectionate idiot. Aww. I haven't read a stick like that. I think I feel like I've seen something like this and I like it. It's cute. I assume it's the same thing as that. Actually, no, I'm gonna put this on. Very weird. These two, because just like I haven't read that before, but another part of me also like, but have I? I've definitely read babysitting AU, which is like mostly where these two come into play. So I would probably say yeah, but they were typically specifically babysitting. Parenting depends on execution. I've heard before. That is um actually yeah, if it's done a specific way then no. And these are my tropes. I kind of went through it pretty fast midway, but there was a lot. Um, I exposed myself quite a lot. I have no opinions on a lot of things. I have not read a lot of things. A lot of things just depend on the execution and pairing. Not a lot of stuff, I want nothing to do with, but very important things that I want nothing to do with. And then, my beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I like it. I'm satisfied. I am satisfied with my tier list. That's going to be it. I think that's going to be it for this stream. How long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for 3 hours now. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I got to talk about a lot of good anime, which I have to remember to put all of that on Twitter, and then I also was able to just talk about anime tropes and all of the anime stuff that I like. But it was really fun. I had a lot of fun today. Um, I need to figure out who we're going to raid. I need to figure out who we're going to raid today. Um, done with the stream. Yes, that was all. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for the people who followed, and thank you for joining in with me today. Um, we talked a lot about some anime. We talked about anime tropes, or rather fanfiction tropes. I've exposed myself a little. Um, I'm not really regretful about it. It's just like, oh well, who to raid? Can I not just let's see. Who should I rate today? What did I rate last time? I've only rated like once ever. So I have plenty of options of people who I could rate. Hmm. Sorry, aside. Hmm. I'm like thinking about this really hard. Like, who should I raid? Um. Yeah, we're gonna rate that. Okay, so we're gonna read into someone. And I'm going to over here and have anxiety because I've only rated into one person ever. This is my second time rating into someone. I've never rated before. Oh, anxiety. Yeah. We're going to raid into them. Oh, looks like they just started too. Okay. That's great. Um, okay, well then I'm going to start raid. Bye guys. Bye.